Let's get rid of that and start building our graph, shall we? This should look familiar to you. If it doesn't, go and check out our previous D3 episodes that goes deep into this part of D3. We're getting a reference to our SVG element by using its ID. We set its width to the variable which we defined earlier. Now the height is interesting. We want to make it high enough to contain all our bars, which is dynamic in value. So we calculate this by multiplying the bar height with the number of data points we want to bind to. This way we ensure that the graph is high enough to accommodate all our data. Next up, we define a join for the group items that will represent each data point. We're using a group because each bar will contain a rectangle and two labels, and we want to be able to position them together. Again, if any of this is new to you, watch the earlier D3 episodes. So, we've got a selection for the group items. Let's join that with our data and call enter to specify the rules for adding the bar groups to the screen. All we want to do at this level is specify the vertical positions for each group, which we specify with the transform attribute using a callback function to return a dynamic value based on the data. Basically, we're saying that we want the group position to be flush left and the vertical position to equal the index of the data item multiplied by the bar height, basically stacking the groups on top of each other. Now we use the group selection and append a rectangle to each group. On each rectangle, we set a width and we calculate the width in a function by using the xScale function we defined earlier. We also set a height attribute, which is the same for each bar, so we don't need a function here. The -1 we pass in here is so that we've got a bit of a gap between each bar. When we save that out, you can see that we've got nifty looking bars rendered to the screen. Very cool.